This book is called A Book for Bear. Bear loved books, kind of like you do, huh? Every day, Bear sat at the edge of the woods and listened to a girl read. The girl, whose name was Ellen, loved to read. Bear loved to listen. You like listening to books too. Ellen read scary books, exciting books, funny books, and Bear and Ellen loved them all. Do you like all kinds of books? Yeah, me too. One afternoon, sitting under their favorite tree, Bear said, "I want a book of my very own." Do you have a bunch of books? How many do you have? Yeah, that's a lot. A book the color of ripe red strawberries and delicious to read. Where do you find your books? Where are your books? At school, said Ellen, but bears aren't allowed. Tomorrow, I'll bring you a new book. But, said Bear, I want to pick it out for myself. Kind of like you like picking out your books at night, huh? Said Ellen. Then we'll need a plan. And I know just the thing. The next morning, Ellen and a furry superhero walked to school. Look, Bear's in the costume. Do you have any costumes? I do too. They tiptoed into the back of Ellen's classroom. I've never seen so many books, whispered Bear. Bear rushed toward the bookshelf. He reached for a book the color of ripe red raspberries, but the teacher turned around. She pointed. She screamed, "A bear! A bear! A bear at our school!" Bear raced back to the woods with a cape, but no book. After school, Ellen found Bear by their favorite tree. "I'm sorry our plan didn't work," she said. But Bear said, "I still want a book, and I want to pick it out for myself. Where else can I find a book?" "The library," said Ellen, "but bears aren't allowed." "Don't worry," said Bear. "I have a plan." Ellen and a blueberry bush. Look at that blueberry bush. Do you like blueberries? Me too. "The library has even more books than your classroom," Bear whispered. "Rows and rows of books." The librarian shrieked, "A bear! A bear! A bear in the library!" Bear and Ellen raced back to the woods with blueberries, but no books. When's the last time you had a blueberry? Yeah, it's been a couple days for me too. "But," said Bear, "I still want a book and I want to pick it out for myself. Where else can I find a book?" "The bookstore," said Ellen. "But bears aren't allowed. Maybe I need a different disguise," said Bear. "I know just the thing," said Ellen. Look at his disguise. Do you think it's a good one? Maybe he should have gone for a red umbrella. Maybe that might have made it better. Ellen and a furry giant wearing a coat and a hat and carrying an umbrella tiptoed into the store. "So many, many books," Bear whispered. "There must be a book for me." Then Bear saw just what he wanted, a book the color of ripe red raspberries. Do you see a red book? There. He rushed for the book, but didn't see the ladder or the clerk on the ladder. Clerk, ladder, and furry giant wearing a coat and hat and carrying an umbrella crashed to the floor. What color's that umbrella? Is it yellow? The clerk yelled, "A bear! A bear! A bear in our bookstore!" Oh, goodness. Bear and Ellen raced back to the woods with a broken umbrella, but no book. How will I ever find a book of my own? Asked Bear. Don't worry, said Ellen. We'll think of something. Bear scratched his back on the tree and thought. Do you ever put your thinking cap on? Do you come up with any good ideas? Yeah? I would love to hear them sometime. Ellen scratched the top of her head and thought. Suddenly, Bear said, oh, could we make a book? Ellen smiled. Be right back. She returned with paper and markers of every color, including, of course, raspberry red. What do you want your book to be about? Ellen asked. I know just the thing, Bear whispered his idea to Ellen. A perfect plan, she said. Ellen wrote and wrote. Bear and Ellen drew pictures after picture. When they finished, Bear beamed. Will you read my book to me? Look at that red book. Of course, Ellen said. Ellen opened the book and read. Bear loved books. If you got to make a book, what color would you make your book? Ooh, that's a good choice. Maybe we'll have to do that.